So I'm a huge advocate of the setter closer model and having a good screening process into an asset manager that then can facilitate the decision making in the close. And when done, this asset manager can again divvy out if it's going to be a listing or if they're going to close it in the per your strategy, cash, however, creative financing, whatever else. And we use an iPad to do it, to just keep everything paperless, quick, synced all the time, and signing without anything else. It just makes everything super efficient. But our whole process doesn't have any teeth. It just has information, transparency, and support behind it. And again, that when it comes down to that, you help your clients make a logical decision at the end and through the sales process. This is the base setup that we go through, is just how to get your setter closer model set up correctly. Even if there's just one person managing a setter closer, understanding that it is two processes. It's one to the other. And then eventually filling in the team so that it is individual players throughout it. Okay, but this is how we scale, and we capitalize and up our conversion rates like crazy. So just having this set up is what we teach. And then running through this script. And this script is a product of, like I said, 15 years of doing this and listening to phone calls, coaching, doing it myself, everything else. This is the pattern that we found clear success with across the board. And I have had my hands on everybody's scripts. There's no secrets when it comes to the scripting. It's more about the psychology of the script and knowing and understanding the why behind it that changes the game. And that's what all of the feedback that I've gotten as people adopt this script is, that's the game changer across the board. We go through the introduction. The introduction is obviously one of the first most important parts, how you introduce yourself to keep people engaged and not have the wall up. So we go through exactly how to do the proper introduction. Then we go into the use and condition of the property. And we do it in an open question type style that's led by them. Okay. And then we go through, after we get through our use and condition and we recap all their issues that they have, then we transition into the client's needs. This is the framework here. We get into the client's needs. Then after we understand the client's needs, what's going on a deeper level, and we ask all these different leading questions. Why are you staying in town? What's going on here? And we're just going layers deeper into the understanding the context of their situation. Then we get into the expectation of value way down here. And this script right here is designed to stay away from the dreaded price fight that happens and kills more deals than anything else out there, is the price fight. When you start negotiating without enough information. I see it all the time. Price fighting kills deals immediately. So this is script how to extract their opinion of value and go through, manage that conversation with ease without putting you in a box. So we pull out the expectation of value, and then we get them interested to listen to our pitch. And our pitch comes down to presenting and supporting them into three different options. One of being a cash offer, then the next being if they were going to renovate and sell it, and then the third being if they were going to list it. And the reason why those three options are on the board is very strategic. It's because that's the 99% of people out there when they're going to sell their house. If you're not in the industry, if you're just like somebody's going to sell their house, these are the three things that are going through their head. Should I just sell it for sale by owner, sell it cash, whatever, or should we fix it up? What do we do? Do you got money? Should we fix it up? Or should we just list it? Do you know somebody? It's like, that's the logical beaten path. And sometimes it's just the beaten path of, should we fix it up and sell it with a realtor, or just list it with a realtor? They're not even thinking cash. That's not broadly known. So you can't assume that. So we go into, I know that people are thinking this. So we go in supporting all three options.
Dude, Eric, I gotta stop you, man. This is so golden. Like, this is awesome, because so my personal experience was, I would get these no's. I'd give everyone the cash offer, and then I get a no. And then I would send them out a 3-letter offer of intent with these other options of like seller financing and all this stuff. And I get a ton of engagement back. And I actually bought 50 homes just from that. People saying no, sending out the 3-letter, then seeing other options. But the thing that's going through my head right now is those weren't options they were even considering or thinking about. And what you're doing here is you're presenting offers that they're ready. That is exactly the issue that they're trying to figure out. Should I fix it up and list it? So like giving them options they're actually were already thinking about and just presenting it in this nice, easy format rather than trying to confuse them with other things.
Because, your own agenda.
Yeah. Because
it's always fogged by your own agenda, whether you're a listing agent, a cash buyer, whatever, you always have your own agenda. So you're always selling that way. So it always comes across that way. And if you don't truly believe in your sale, it comes across as commission breath.
Because how many of these actually do you do the renovate the property with? Very few.
Okay, so this was the reason why people don't do this is because they're afraid that they will always pick the listing. They're going to make more money if they list it. So why would I show them that? You really do that? You really do that? I get, dude, from the time I started doing this is what people would, the feedback that I would get. And I'm always have to tell you, I do it because it helps me close more cash deals. I wouldn't do it if it didn't. But if it doesn't close more cash deals, I close more listings either way. I close more deals with this coming right up, straight up front and handling all the elephant in the room, if you will, in a very logical way. I help them make the decision. And the first thing that 99% of the time gets crossed off is to fix it and then sell it. Nobody's going to fix it and sell it. That's when we get to this stage in the sales process. That's the first one that we logically mark off. And I do it with a pen on my iPad physically with them over a net sheet. And so it's like a physical thing that we do. And so now we're just comparing whether they should list it or take my cash offer. But the beauty is that the downside of getting to this stage, if we just pull up a real scenario, you guys can see my screen, I hope, right?
Yep.
Okay. So this is, now, granted, I understand that not all scenarios fit this, but this is an example in our market. And it doesn't really even matter what the results, as far as what option is the best. The point is that you get to a conclusion. So in this scenario, this is my net sheet that I present with. And this is what it looks like when I present, because I'm drawing all over shit, explaining and things like this. It's a collaboration, right? So my cash offer 725. So the first thing that we rule out is like I tell them you could sell it if it were all fixed up for 925. That's the ARV. Okay. But you would need to put in rehab costs, $54,000 to get that. Like just straight up, you got 54 grand, put it in, you do all that. Yeah, you're going to get it and you're going to net this. So hallelujah. Why not? Okay. And I literally look at them and shit, why not? Okay. Because they'll be like, oh, or it's kind of like a challenge, right? A little bit. Okay. And sometimes they step into the challenge and then I'm like, oh yeah, okay, cool. Oh, we're pros and we still don't get it right every time. So you got it? Okay, cool. I start planting seeds of doubt. So it's fun. So then we go, here's what you would list it for. This is per the comps. I always present with comps. Here's as is, this is what you would list it for and pay the 6%. And then you would net this. Okay. And the key to all just getting to this stage is to break down the number one objection that we handle is that your offer is 725 versus the realtor, the Zillow, the everything else that said 775. You can go take your offer and suck it. I don't want any of it. Okay. That's the math that's happening. And they're like pissed about it. Frankly, they're like, F you. And you're trying to tell me this is a good deal. And you think you're like helpful buyer, home buyer, and you're giving me this is your deal. Thanks. But I'm cool. I don't want that. Like you guys are lying straight up. Like, how could you not come across that way to most people's math that the way they do it? Now, we all know that's not the damn truth. Okay. The truth is, hold up, you sell it, you're netting 720. hold up with your judgment real quick. 720 versus 725. Are we cool yet? Can we be friends yet? And
This
they're
is
like,
awesome.
oh,
I
shit,
love it.
right?
Can
Like,
you back up though, real quick, Eric? Because we're running out of time,
Yeah.
and we got a hard stop in just a few minutes. Like one key thing I want to start with, because there's just so much to unpack here. At the very beginning, that script, even though we're cold calling, we're producing these leads and then sending the leads over to them, would you
Yeah.
still start your script that same way?
Yeah, this script right here.
Yep. Sorry,
Yeah.
man. You went through so much. There's so
I
much.
know.
I'm like going back to the beginning, but just
Yes.
that there alone. Is that how you would start it?
Yes.
Okay. And there's psychology and everything right behind that as to why. Okay.
Deep level, like too much to even, we can only talk surface. I have my clients that I talk to on this. There's like years of unpacking.
Okay.
Years of unpacking as far as the
Okay.
psychology, the patterns that are embedded in here. I have 5 different NLP certifications, neuro linguistics programming certifications, and I was deeply trained in sales, and I've been in real estate my whole life. And so I really just put the deep level of thought to integrating all of this, the logic, the emotional chain that you walk people through, because it has to match in a genuine form. And if you're not genuine, it doesn't work. So the key to, in my opinion, to good sales is really believing in your process and how you help people with your product. And when you really believe that, and you have a really sound sales process that supports that, then the walls start coming down and the process starts to have a flow.